I am 60 years old. Let me say that again. Today is my 60th birthday. The words themselves don't really hold any meaning to me. The fact that I'm still alive is what shocks me. I didn't think I'd live to see 21 years of age. My friends didn't think I'd live to see 30 years of age, and at 50, I realized I had no plan or life vision for after 50. Now here I sit on the edge of another coastline, looking out at another sea, having traveled 25,000 miles in 2 years. And I don't need a plan.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound.
I gotta do that. All right. Good morning and welcome to Walking Out of Lockdown. I'm Mark Evazid, photojournalist, filmmaker, and cultural specialist. Today I'm sitting here with Ricardo Leon, a young filmmaker, editor, who I first met at Ethnograph Film. He presented an amazing film on the issues of sand and how something as simple as sand could be a prime commodity for indigenous people and a place of conflict. So today we want to catch up on where things are. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
It's great to see you again.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's go back to New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. You're looking forward to the year. How did you see your year? What was going to happen this year? What were your thoughts? What was your mood?
Right. So back then, I have a visit from my mom. So that took a lot of space in my mind, like, taking her out. It was her first time here. But at the same time, I was running some sort of internship that I was going to start in January this year. So, and at the same time, I have another job, which is like my, pay rent job, and that it also takes a lot of time. But my first goal in this 2020 was to survive that internship because it was not paid. It was supposed to be 6 months non-pay as an editor assistant in a full-time schedule.
And our house was always full of musicians, photographers. But that was the beauty of it, It was always people with beautiful talents that they were like surrendered us in our house, a generation that is trying to fight with their dreams and become someone big or little, it doesn't matter. They just want something to change and they want something to call their attention.
Well, I was primarily finishing university, so working on my dissertation. It was my final year. So working on my dissertation and my final project. So that was the end goal, get the grades, build the perfect portfolio, find the internship that would get me towards my career pathway. So that was really the end goal. And then, little by little, I started ticking those boxes and I hit like a point in my life where I felt like everything was falling into place. I had an internship. I moved into a new flat with a flatmate. So I left living with my sister as she moved into her relationship with her boyfriend. I found a boyfriend of myself and everything was just coming into place for me.
Well, when I look back, my mood was very positive, full of strength and big expectations actually for 2020 because I have been working almost since Zita's birth. When she was 1 year old, I was working on getting back into my career and exploring new adventures and stepping into this collaborative work of art and science. And I was super happy that
Yeah.
finally things are getting more exciting for me in the dance world again, or in the art world, because it also took quite a while to get back. Not in shape, because in shape I was really fast, but getting back the network. And
We were not doing well lately. It has been dragging for a long time, but the last few years it was really bad. Many companies closed down in 2018 and 2019. We had around 5,500 company closing down. And yeah, with a very small economy, if you can imagine, this is very, very taxing. We don't even have official numbers in 2020 because now, I mean, I cannot describe the situation. The revolution here in Lebanon started in October 17. We had a lot of corruption, and you know, people cannot be silenced, I believe. So at some point, things like this, they burst, you know?
Yeah. I co-organize the Paris Tattoo Convention, Le Mondial du Tatouage, which is normally scheduled every year mid-March. And the state health authorities told us 1 week before the event that we couldn't be held, and we were already sort of trying to save this sinking ship. People were canceling more and more strict regulations, which we would follow and adapt to. But yeah, we were 7 days before the event, expecting 30,000 people to attend. We had to close shop.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house.
So there we were, rushing. We were stressed because we had this project together. Stressed because we were going to be leaving for 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 years. We were going to explore South America. We were going to live with the indigenous. We were going to learn their ways. We were going to teach them to document their lives, their culture, their stories. And then one day, it just all stopped.
Mysterious pneumonia outbreak in Wuhan, China.
A new type of coronavirus.
The number of affected countries has tripled.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
For over a month now, we became aware of the coronavirus. It started out in Wuhan. By now, if you're watching this, you probably have a good idea of what I'm talking about. All right? But yesterday, I found myself having to do something that I hoped I'd never have to do in my life. And that was to send a message to my family and friends to be prepared and to take steps. A call to action, if you want.
At least there was a 1 week where I was like sitting in my computer, like, what am I supposed to be doing?
I guess like all this time in PJs and tracksuit bottoms have made me feel less than, definitely not like age-centric or any icon in the fashion world.
I did actually have the virus. So I actually lost my sense of taste and sense of smell. So what scares me after lockdown finishes is that I still don't have my sense of taste and sense of smell.
What I've noticed in Newcastle, where I'm based now, is that there's cars everywhere, but that's stopped recently.
Yeah.
So so suddenly your anxiety levels actually go down, and it makes me wonder whether the constant roaring of traffic is just simply like the constant underlying roar of a lion or something like that. That kind of raises everybody's anxiety levels a bit.
I remember going for a walk that afternoon, and as I looked up at the sky, I was suddenly taken back to being a young boy, looking at the sky with nothing in it. There was something different. It was calm. There were no planes, there were no trails. And it was then that I noticed the void. The audible void. It was the sound of my childhood.
Allora, io non sono uno che si dispera se le cose che speravi non accadono, perché fa niente, cioè non è importante, la vita cambia, si modifica. E quindi niente, ho tentato di focalizzarmi sul presente, ho tentato di vivere il momento presente il meglio possibile.
I got stuck 3 months in Germany. Never happened since I'm like 14, since I went to boarding school. I haven't stayed that long at home. It was great. It was wonderful because the whole world just stopped. My parents were at home. We had time. We didn't need to. I mean, we didn't go out anyways because we just went out for walks and stuff, and it was just amazing.
Per circa 2 mesi non ho lavorato e quindi durante questo lockdown sono stato sempre a casa, sempre. Mi sono mosso solamente per fare la spesa, anzi poi con il tempo avevo trovato anche il modo per farmela portare, avevo anche per esempio, non so, la birreria in cui andavo e il gestore che mi portava direttamente le birre a casa, avevo chi mi portava le sigarette, era come essere in prigione, avevi gli amici che ti portavano le cose.
We decided that because we saw that our lifestyle was not sustainable anymore. We knew that we couldn't earn the money, we couldn't do any projects, we couldn't actually do any work, paid work, while we were going to be confined in the second lockdown. Even if nobody else believed that there's going to be another one, we knew exactly that there will be other waves and this is not over after the first wave. 2 weeks after first lockdown ended, our landlady called and said, "No, can you pay some rent now?" I had to explain that we literally had no money left and that we just barely earned enough for food. We had talked about leaving this kind of life or changing or traveling more even before COVID hit, but this was the moment really to decide something and to give us the kick in the ass to actually jump on the idea of living in a van and making a project out of it. Obviously, it was going to allow us to travel as documentary journalists and allow us to do some projects on the road. And yeah, we had the wish to see people, to witness what was actually going on in small communities, in rural communities. But more than that, we just needed a different way to live. We had cancelled our contract, our rental agreement, 3 months before we would leave, without having a car, without having the money to buy a car, without knowing where to go and how to make this happen. We just knew we had to make it happen, and in some way the universe was gonna support us in our idea.